Good morning. I have a very special guest. I thought I would do something a little different. Um, One of my favorite people, Dr. Christina, naturopathic doctor, has agreed to do an exclusive interview with me because I thought it was really important to get some information out there for people going through everything that we're all dealing with during current events. So Christina was kind enough to join me this morning and answer some questions I have, and I would like to share those with everyone. A little tidbit about Christina. I've known Christina for many, many years. She's my personal naturopathic doctor, and she's helped me personally, physically and mentally throughout the years. And so she's also very, very positive, and she's been posting a lot of really cool stuff on her social media that I think it's really important to share with everyone. One of the things I love about Christina is that she's also a true human. Not to say that other naturopathic doctors aren't, but one of the things that I really love about Christina is that she is real. She didn't make me feel bad about myself if I kind of, had an extra piece of cake or something, or I had a cup of coffee when I shouldn't have, or whatever the case. She's just one of those real people, and she can relate. So anyway, Christina, over to you.
Thank you, Monique. Yeah, so I'm so happy to be here as well. It's really great to have this opportunity to connect and to hopefully share some information that can also help outside of our circle. So yes, I've been a naturopathic doctor for the last 11 years, worked with lots and lots of people. My main area of focus and my true passion is on turning stress into strength and really helping people understand and own that the decisions that we're making on a day in, day out basis are either helping us or hurting us, and how we can very quickly move from a place of overwhelmed to optimize just with some of these tiny little incremental changes that we can make. So yeah, that's sort of my main focus is actually on working with stress. And so this feels like a really opportune time to talk about stress and health when most of our stress levels have increased over the last month. So
yeah. Well, actually, that was actually going to be my first question. I was at a conference in November with Dominion Lending Centers, and we had a speaker who really focused on the importance of reducing cortisol, and just kind of talked about what cortisol is. It's in all of us, and how important it is to really, really reduce cortisol. And I feel that everyone's cortisol is probably increased right now. So what are some healthy ways you can suggest helping reduce cortisol?
Yeah, so that's a really, really important one. And yeah, cortisol is a stress hormone. And usually when cortisol is high, our sympathetic nervous system, our survival instincts are also activated. So anything that we can do to activate the other system, the parasympathetic, the relaxation nervous system, is obviously going to decrease cortisol. So that's where things like diaphragmatic breathing and gratitude and meditation and mindfulness, again, we've been talking about these things for a really long time. Yoga, these are all things that sort of activate that parasympathetic nervous system and create calmness in our body and essentially turn off cortisol. So I think it is, and there's so many free apps out there for all of these things that I think if we just make it one of our daily practices to spend 5 to 10 minutes every day thinking about nourishing our nervous system, because it's always in such a heightened state. So finding something to counterbalance that stress. And there, again, we have to do something that resonates with us. So we have to find the thing. And that's why it's useful to know that there's lots of different options. And then just finding one that feels like it really fits into your life with ease. And it's not something that, again, you need to master. A lot of times people do the breathing and then they finish the breathing and they go right back to feeling stressed. That's okay. You're still getting 5 minutes where you deactivated that stress and that cortisol. And so again, it's a work in progress, and a little bit, after that 5 minutes is amazing. And then you lock it in, you do that every day for 5 minutes. And by the end of the week, that feeling of relaxation can stick with you for longer than just the 5 minutes.
Amazing.
I have lots of material around that I'm more than happy to share in terms of diaphragmatic breathing or apps. So please reach out if you want any of those.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Christina. Another question I had, so obviously it's important to eat healthy. It's kind of hard, I feel, harder during this time with the lack of availability to certain foods. So how would you suggest kind of keeping up with as much healthy eating as possible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, you know, if we create intention around planning is key, right? Anytime that we want to improve something, we just have to give it a little bit of focus. And so knowing that right now, again, we are kind of busy, we are kind of all in this survival mode or increased stress mode. So really just thinking about things that can nourish our bodies, things that can help us, you know, transition through this difficult time. So eating real food primarily, right? When we're under stress, we tend to crave sugar, caffeine, carbohydrates, things that are going to make us feel good in the moment that are ultimately going to make us crash. So it's all about keeping blood sugar levels stable, keeping energy levels stable. So again, thinking about your leafy greens, you know, lots of fruits and vegetables. They're full of vitamins, so good for your immune system, good for your energy levels, good for blood sugar. And fruits, citrus fruits, berries, things like this, nuts and seeds, they're mineral rich, and really focusing on protein, right? Protein both for supporting your adrenals and stress, but also for your immune system is made up of the building blocks for your immunoglobulins, and your immune system are made up of protein. So really making sure to get protein in at every meal. Water, 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 and then being mindful of the things that can hurt you. So the caffeine, alcohol, processed sugar, that does not mean never. It just means be mindful. So up on all the good stuff and mindful of the stuff that may be working against you in the long run.
You'll be happy to hear that ever since I started going to you, I've cut refined sugar out of my diet. And hey, do I cheat once in a while? Of course.
Yeah.
What a difference it's made in how I feel, my energy level, my sleep, everything. It changed me. And, you know, getting through that, getting off of it, not that I ate a lot of it, it's just because it was in me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I have no cravings at all.
Amazing.
So,
that was amazing.
Yeah, I thought you'd be proud.
I am super proud and impressed. Yes.
Third question for you, and I know you probably can't legally say, you know, specifics, but I know for myself, easily accessible supplements like vitamin C or magnesium is really helpful for me to sleep at night, rhodiola for stress. What would you suggest to the audience in terms of making sure you're buying the right products?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think there's definitely lots of things out there that can support and you know, just sort of add-ons to a healthy diet, right? We can never out supplement a healthy diet, but I do think that there are some key ingredients right now: vitamin C, as you mentioned, magnesium, as you mentioned, zinc, vitamin D, and your B vitamins, again, hugely important, right, for supporting adrenals. There's lots of herbs, as you mentioned, rhodiola. Again, there's lots of herbs called adaptogens, so they can help your body, again, in times of stress, even in time, you know, they can also help your immune system just sort of buffer. You know, if you've got too much cortisol, there's adaptogens that will help decrease that. Not enough cortisol, kind of boost that up. So again, with, you know, speaking with your local pharmacist or health food store, they're usually equipped with nutritionists in all of those places. Talk to your naturopathic doctor. Talk to your medical doctor. Again, I'd love to tell you specifics that you could take to boost your immune system and calm your adrenals at night. But again, because without knowing what prescription medications people are on. I can't make those sort of blanket statements, but I do know that, yes, there's lots of things that you can be taking. And I'm taking more supplements right now than I generally do. And I'm pumping my kids full of them as well, just to, again, really sort of make sure like this isn't going away. And so we want our immune systems to really be equipped to deal with it. And one of the best things that we can do for boosting immune system is keeping our stress in check. And so again, a lot of the
cortisol.
like cortisol, exactly. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, but happy to speak to, again, like if any questions come out of this regarding vitamins, I'm more than happy to have a, kind of a consult around specifics there.
Perfect. Thank you. And actually, we're doing well here because you just brought me into my next question. So can you speak about, you have 2 little ones at home. Can you speak to those who have kids at home and maybe some productive ways to kind of keep them from going stir crazy and having cabin fever?
Yeah. Yes, it has been a real work in progress. There's been lots of ups and downs here. And again, we're not used to all being all together all the time. But I think we've recently kind of come across, like found a system that seems to be helping. And it's just that we have a little quick family meeting every morning while we're eating our breakfast. We're kind of talking through, we're mapping out our day. We're talking, like I got to write down in the whiteboard the times that mom cannot be disturbed, whether I'm on calls or in meetings or in webinars. So them having a sense of when we are not accessible, and my husband does the same, times when he cannot be disturbed. The kids write down what they're going to be working on. We have a big section in the middle for the fun stuff that we're going to do as a family. So it's just been, again, kids love routine. So we've really been trying to create routine and then realizing like our routine isn't working, and then we change the routine. But I think a lot of this is we're really recognizing that they are following our lead. So when my husband and I are feeling a little bit more tense or edgy, the kids in turn are often feeding off of that. And so we've just really been, again, doing some of those things, family yoga, right? A family meditation, either at the end of the day, the middle of the day, the beginning of the day, depending on what the vibe is in the house, to just kind of keep everybody on the same page. And communication is key, and planning is key. And then just reinventing, changing it, scratching things off our list that are not working. And so I don't have a system figured out. I wish I did, that I could share, but really we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. And so far we've been, again, doing a lot in terms of recognizing how great this is for our family in lots of ways. Even it's a double-edged sword, right? Yeah. We love it. And it also makes us a bit crazy. Yeah. So
way to be optimistic. I love it.
Yes. Yeah.
Last question. We're going on time here, and I didn't want to make it too long, but we're doing pretty good. Last question, and you spoke about setting times where your kids can't bother you because you're on calls or webinars or whatever the case. So you are still practicing. So you're very hands-on, obviously, which is hard at this stage. So you're practicing virtually or doing telehealth, I would understand?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, my one-on-one practice is, in person is shut down, obviously. And I am still doing those one-on-ones over the phone. Also virtually, there's a platform called DoxyMe. So it's kind of like this, but it meets all of the criteria of our licensing board and regulations in terms of privacy. So that's still happening. Again, it's a difficult time for us to focus on health, right? Because every time that we get really stressed, we often kind of scratch ourselves off the list. It's like, oh my gosh, I got too many things on the go. I cannot take care of myself right now. And so we're oftentimes one of the first things to come off. So I would say that my practice has slowed down considerably, as many of us are in kind of this crisis mode. But I really feel like it is, if we can prioritize our health, it will really help pull us through this, because again, we don't know when this is going away. And so I look forward to helping people with that. But again, we all have to sort of put our health in a position. And so I can't change where it is on your list, but I continue to be optimistic that, when it is on the top of your list, the quality of your life is as best as it can be.
I can attest to that. I'm a walking billboard in that regard. So, Christina, thank you so much. Don't hang up yet. I'm just going to stop recording. But thank you so, so much. I would love to put your information out there if you're comfortable, maybe your website, so people could contact you if they would like to speak to you, and go from there.
Yeah, sounds great. Please. Yes. Any questions at all? Then yeah, people know where to find me. My website. You can email me through there, or you can find me on social media. So yeah, thank you so much, Monique. It's been so good to chat.
Oh, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.